To answer the question, is tarot real? I think it's important to ponder two subsequent questions. First, how unique is each card reading experience? Are those cards truly a unique shuffle and deal? Secondly, is there any scientific proof that anyone can sense or see things that haven't yet occurred? Here's the simple truth. The arrangement of cards in a well-shuffled deck is one of the most random things on Earth. There are 52 factorial ways to shuffle a deck of cards. What's that mean? Well, to calculate it, you take 52, multiply it by 51, then by 50, times 49, times 48, times 47, and continue all the way down to times 3, times 2, times 1. It's a really, really big number. In fact, there are more ways to arrange a deck of playing cards than there are atoms on Earth. There are more ways to arrange a deck of cards than seconds since the universe came into existence. If you're using a standard deck of 78 tarot cards, and accounting for where, when, and how the card falls in addition, well, it's definitely a very unique experience. In fact, whether we're talking about playing cards or a deck of tarot cards, each arrangement of cards in a well-shuffled deck has never existed before and won't exist again. How's that for unique? On to the next question. What scientific proof do we have that people can see things in new and unusual ways? Like remote viewing, the ability to determine, sense, or otherwise see from a distance with one's mind. According to Russell Tark, laser physicist who holds 2 NASA awards for inventions in lasers, and also happens to be co-founder of the Stanford Research Institute's $20 million program to explore psychic abilities, which happened in the 1970s and 1980s. He said that while working for the CIA program at our lab in Menlo Park, California, our psychic viewers were able to find a downed Russian bomber in Africa, to describe the health of American hostages in Iran, and to locate a kidnapped American general in Italy. We also described Soviet weapons factories in Siberia and a Chinese atomic bomb test 3 days before it occurred, and performed countless other amazing tasks, all using the ability that our colleague Ingo Swann dubbed remote viewing. Did you hear that part about describing an atomic bomb test before it occurred? That's also called precognition, the ability to know or sense what will happen in the future. And it turns out that lots of scientific studies have been done on this as well, and they used cards. The early precognition experiments were conducted in the 1930s at Duke University by Joseph B. Rhine. In the basic version of his study, participants were asked to select one of 5 cards that would later be selected by random process. Over many trials, participants should guess right 20% of the time, since they have 1 in 5 odds of being correct. But over many trials, the hit rate was around 29%. Between 1935 and 1987, roughly 309 such studies were conducted by 62 investigators, and 113 articles were published in peer-reviewed journals. More than 50,000 people contributed to roughly 2 million individual trials. Dr. Dean Radin did a comprehensive review of all card tests that were conducted from 1882 to 1939. Researchers Dr. Charles O'Norton and Diane Ferrari conducted a statistical meta-analysis of the studies done between 1935 and 1987. All of the researchers essentially concluded the same thing. The combined result showed a small but repeatable effect, with odds against chance of 10 million billion billion to 1. As Jessica Utz stated in her 1995 report on psychic functioning requested by Congress and the CIA, precognition, in which the answer is known to no one until a future time, appears to work quite well. And yet, I have to ask sincerely, do you need more than that to believe? Jessica Utz was also quoted as saying that most scientists reject the possible reality of psychic abilities without ever looking at data. I have asked the debunkers if there is any amount of data that could convince them, and they have generally responded by saying, probably not. I asked them what original research they have read, and they mostly admit that they haven't read any. To learn more about the scientific proof that already exists, I highly recommend An End to Upside Down Thinking by Mark Gober. And please do stay tuned to learn more about my sociological study using tarot and poker to prove whether or not there are signs in the cards. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.